Picture this. You're standing in your kitchen, holding your car keys, completely bewildered about why you came in there. Or you're at the grocery store, staring at someone you've known for years, their name just... Now imagine you're 85 years old, and suddenly, almost like magic, these moments become rare instead of daily struggles. What if I told you that one simple change to what you eat every morning could be the key to keeping your mind razor sharp? Listen, I understand that sinking feeling when your memory starts playing tricks on you. It's not just about forgetting where you put your glasses, though that's frustrating enough. It's about feeling like you're losing pieces of yourself, bit by bit. Memory loss doesn't just affect you, it ripples through your entire family. Your independence, your confidence, your connection to the people and moments that make life meaningful, all of it feels at risk. For anyone over 60, keeping your mind sharp isn't just about convenience. It's about holding on to who you are. Today I'm going to share something that might surprise you. At 85, I discovered a simple, everyday food that transformed my memory and mental clarity in ways I never expected. We're going to dive deep into why this works, and it's not what most people think. I'll also bust some dangerous myths about aging and memory that could be holding you back. But here's the thing, if you want to protect your brain health or help someone you love do the same, you need to stay until the very end. Because the last tip I share, it's the one that surprised me the most. Before we dive in, do me a favor. If you're here because you want to keep your mind sharp for years to come, for yourself or someone you care about, type "I'm here" in the comments right now. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button for Flourish After 60. We're building a community of people who refuse to let age define their limits. Number 1. The food I eat daily: blueberries. Let me tell you how this all started. About 3 years ago, I was having one of those days where I couldn't remember my neighbor's name, the woman I'd been chatting with for over a decade. I was so frustrated that I called my daughter, nearly in tears. She suggested I try adding blueberries to my morning routine. Honestly, I thought she was being sweet but naive. How could a handful of fruit fix what felt like a broken mind? But I was desperate enough to try anything. So I started simple, a small bowl of blueberries with my breakfast every single morning. At first, it felt almost silly. I mean, we're talking about memory loss here, something that terrifies millions of people, and my solution was fruit. But you know what? Sometimes the simplest solutions are the most powerful. Here's what I learned that changed everything. Blueberries aren't just delicious, they're like tiny powerhouses for your brain. They're packed with compounds called anthocyanins, which give them that beautiful deep blue color. These antioxidants do something remarkable. They reduce inflammation in your brain and actually help your brain cells communicate better with each other. Think of it like clearing static from a radio signal. Studies have shown that people who eat blueberries regularly perform better on memory tests and have slower cognitive decline as they age. The antioxidants literally help protect your brain from the damage that comes with aging. It's like giving your brain a daily dose of protection. Now, here's where most people go wrong. They think they need expensive supplements or fancy memory pills. The supplement industry loves to sell us the idea that we need to spend hundreds of dollars on bottles of pills. But here's the truth. Real whole foods often work better than any supplement you can buy. Your body knows how to absorb nutrients from food in ways that artificial supplements can't replicate. So here's what I want you to do. Start with just half a cup of blueberries. Fresh is great, but frozen works just as well, and it's often more affordable. I add mine to my morning oatmeal, but you can stir them into yogurt, eat them plain, or even add them to a smoothie. The key is consistency. Every single day. But here's the thing, fruit alone isn't enough. Your brain needs more than just antioxidants. Let's talk about the healthy fats that most people your age are still afraid to eat. Number 2. Omega dry rich foods. I have to laugh when I think about this next one. Growing up in the 50s and 60s, we were taught that fat was the enemy. Low fat this, fat free that. I spent decades avoiding anything that had fat in it, thinking I was being healthy. But at 85, I learned something that turned everything upside down. The right kinds of fats don't just help your brain, they're absolutely essential for keeping it young. I remember the first time my doctor told me to eat more salmon. I looked at her like she'd lost her mind. "You want me to eat more fat?" I asked. She smiled and said, "Not just any fat, the kind your brain has been craving your whole life. Your brain is made up of nearly 60% fat. Let that sink in for a moment. When you avoid healthy fats, you're literally starving your brain of the building blocks it needs to function properly. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel, as well as walnuts and flax seeds, are like premium fuel for your brain cells. These healthy fats help build and maintain the protective coating around your neurons, kind of like insulation on electrical wires. Without enough omega-3 says, your brain cells can't communicate effectively. Research shows that people with higher levels of omega-3 says in their blood have better memory and slower cognitive decline as they age. Here's the dangerous myth that's been hurting people for decades, the idea that all fats are bad. The low-fat diet craze of the 80s and 90s has left an entire generation afraid of foods that could actually help their brains. Your brain needs fat to function, but it needs the right kinds of fat. You don't need to eat fish every day, but try to have salmon, sardines, or mackerel at least once a week. If you're not a fish person, a handful of walnuts or a tablespoon of ground flax seeds sprinkled on your cereal can work wonders. I keep a small container of mixed nuts on my counter and grab a handful whenever I need a snack. Now, while we're talking about what goes into your body, let's discuss something that's just as important but often overlooked: what you drink. Number 3. Hydration and herbal teas. I used to be one of those people who barely drank water. I'd go hours, sometimes entire mornings, without a single sip. I lived on coffee and maybe a glass of something with lunch, but I started noticing that, by afternoon, I felt foggy, tired, and just off. My thinking felt sluggish, like I was trying to think through molasses. It wasn't until I learned about the connection between hydration and brain function that everything clicked. Those afternoon mental fogs? The difficulty concentrating? A lot of it was simply dehydration. Here's something that will blow your mind. Your brain is about 75% water. Even mild dehydration, we're talking just 2% of your body weight, can impair your memory, concentration, and mood. When you're dehydrated, your brain actually shrinks slightly, making it harder for neurons to communicate effectively. Think of your brain like a garden. You can have the best soil and the most beautiful plants, but without enough water, everything starts to wilt. Your brain cells need proper hydration to function at their best. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I drink coffee all day. Doesn't that count? Unfortunately, no. While coffee does provide some hydration, caffeine is also a diuretic, which means it can actually contribute to dehydration if you're not drinking enough water alongside it. Another myth is that you need to drink 8 glasses of water a day. The truth is, your needs depend on your size, activity level, and climate. But most people over 60 don't drink nearly enough. Here's what works for me. I keep a water bottle with me everywhere I go. I aim for 6-8 glasses of water throughout the day. But I also love herbal teas. Ginkgo tea and green tea have compounds that may support circulation to the brain. I have a warm cup of herbal tea in the evening. It's soothing and helps me hit my hydration goals. But you know what? All the right foods and drinks in the world won't help if you're not paying attention to how you eat them. Let's talk about something that completely changed my relationship with food. Number 4. Mindful eating and slow meals. I'll be honest with you, for most of my life, meals were something to get through, not enjoy. I'd eat standing up in the kitchen or in front of the TV, barely tasting my food. I was always rushing, always distracted. Looking back, I realize I was missing out on so much more than just flavor. It wasn't until I started eating more slowly and mindfully that I noticed the difference. Not just in my digestion, but in my mental clarity, my stress levels, even my overall mood. It was like I'd been gulping down life instead of savoring it. When you eat mindfully, really paying attention to your food, several amazing things happen in your body. First, you naturally slow down, which helps your digestive system work more efficiently. Better digestion means better absorption of all those brain-boosting nutrients we've been talking about. But here's the part that really matters for your brain. Mindful eating reduces stress hormones like cortisol. Chronic stress and elevated cortisol levels can actually damage the hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for memory and learning. When you eat slowly and peacefully, you're giving your brain a break from stress. Most people think stress only affects their mood or their heart, but chronic stress is one of the biggest enemies of brain health. It literally shrinks the areas of your brain responsible for memory and decision-making. We often don't realize how much stress we carry into our meals. Here's what I want you to try. For one meal a day, put away all distractions. No TV, no phone, no newspaper. Sit at a table, look at your food, smell it, chew slowly. Try to identify different flavors and textures. It might feel strange at first, but stick with it. I also take 3 deep breaths before I start eating. It helps me shift from whatever stress I was carrying into a peaceful present moment. Your brain will thank you for it. Now, I've saved the most surprising discovery for last. This one shocked me because it connects to something I never thought was related to brain health. Number 5. Fermented foods for gut-brain health. This next one is going to sound strange, but bear with me. 3 years ago, if you'd told me that the health of my gut had anything to do with my memory, I would have politely changed the subject. I didn't grow up eating yogurt every day. It wasn't part of our family's routine. But when I learned about the gut-brain connection, everything changed. I started adding a small cup of plain yogurt to my daily routine. Not the sugary stuff, just plain, unsweetened yogurt with live cultures. At first it was just another item to check off my list. But over time, I noticed something unexpected. I wasn't just thinking more clearly, I was feeling more balanced emotionally too. Here's something that might surprise you. Your gut produces about 90% of your body's serotonin. That's the neurotransmitter that affects mood, sleep, and yes, memory. Scientists are now calling the gut your second brain because of the direct communication pathway between your digestive system and your brain. The healthy bacteria in fermented foods don't just help with digestion. They actually influence inflammation throughout your body, including in your brain. When your gut microbiome is healthy and balanced, it sends positive signals to your brain. When it's out of balance, it can contribute to inflammation that affects memory and cognitive function. Most people think probiotics are just for digestive issues, for when you have stomach problems. But the research is showing that these beneficial bacteria can affect everything from your mood to your memory to your ability to handle stress. Another misconception is that all fermented foods are created equal. You want to look for products that contain live, active cultures, not just foods that have been fermented and then processed in ways that kill the beneficial bacteria. Start simple. A small cup of plain yogurt with live cultures, or a forkful of sauerkraut or kimchi with your meals. Kefir is another great option. It's like a drinkable yogurt with even more beneficial bacteria. The key is consistency and variety. Different fermented foods contain different strains of beneficial bacteria. Now, all of these changes might sound overwhelming, but here's the beautiful thing. They worked together like a symphony, and the results? They felt like nothing short of magic. Let me be completely honest with you about something. I know how terrifying it feels when your memory starts slipping. Those moments when you can't remember a word you've used 1,000 times, or when you walk into a room and have no idea why you're there, they're not just inconvenient, they're heartbreaking. Your memories are your life story. They're your connection to everyone you've ever loved, every moment that shaped who you are. When those memories feel threatened, it's like losing pieces of yourself, and it's not just painful for you, it's agonizing for your family to watch. I've seen the worry in my children's eyes, the way they exchange glances when I can't remember something simple. But here's what these simple changes gave me: hope. Instead of lying awake at night worrying about decline, I started feeling empowered. I realized that I wasn't helpless, that there were things I could do every single day to fight for my mind. These weren't dramatic, life-altering changes. They were small, gentle adjustments that fit into my existing routine. And slowly, steadily, I started feeling more like myself again. Sharper, more present, more confident. If you're watching this because you or someone you love is struggling with memory concerns, please don't wait. Don't let fear or overwhelm stop you from taking action. You don't have to do everything at once. Pick one thing. Maybe it's adding blueberries to your breakfast, or drinking more water, or eating one meal a day without distractions. Start there. Even small changes, done consistently over time, can make a profound difference. Your brain has an amazing ability to adapt and heal, no matter your age, but it needs your help. I want you to know that you're not alone in this journey. Whether you're 60 or 90, whether you're dealing with mild forgetfulness or more serious concerns, there's always hope. There are always things you can do to support your brain health. With awareness, patience, and love, for yourself and for those around you, we can help our minds stay as sharp and vibrant as possible. Your brain wants to serve you well. Give it the tools it needs, and it will surprise you with its resilience. Let me quickly recap the 5 daily habits that changed everything for me. First, blueberries for their powerful antioxidants. Second, omega-3 rich foods like salmon and walnuts for brain cell health. Third, proper hydration and herbal teas for optimal brain function. Fourth, mindful eating to reduce stress and improve nutrient absorption. And finally, fermented foods to support the gut-brain connection. These aren't complicated changes. They're simple, affordable, and they work with your body's natural healing abilities. Now I want to hear from you. Have you tried any of these brain-boosting foods? Do you have a memory-supporting habit that's made a difference in your life? Maybe your grandmother had a secret that she passed down to you, or you've discovered something that works for your family. Share your experiences in the comments below. I read every single one, and I love learning from this amazing community we're building together. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. If this video has been helpful to you, please take a moment to give it a thumbs up. It helps other people find this information when they need it most. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to Flourish After 60 and hitting that notification bell. We're here to share practical, science-backed tips for living your absolute best life after 60. Because aging doesn't mean declining, it means getting smarter about how we take care of ourselves. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Thank you for caring about your brain health, for taking action, and for being part of this community that believes it's never too late to thrive. Remember, every small positive choice you make is an investment in your future self. Every blueberry, every mindful meal, every moment of self-care is you saying, I matter, my mind matters, my memories matter. Stay strong, stay curious, and keep nurturing that beautiful mind of yours. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, keep flourishing.